All right, everybody. What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome once again to another amazing story, another amazing journey. Again, we're just bringing you guys so many stories of people who had gone through a lot of adversity, trials, setbacks, potholes, whatever you want to call them, but they persevered and pushed through all that. And here's another one. My guy Darrell, man, this guy has become a friend and someone that I speak with, and we spoke with. Man, he's been to my house. He's a whole bunch of things, right? But
Right,
being
right.
able to just kind of watch him grow and watch him, kind of go through that process, it's been amazing. It's been a good journey. So, without further ado, go ahead, Darrell. Let everybody know who you are and a little bit about yourself.
Hey, what's going on, man? I'm Darrell. I'm a wholesaler, trying to become a flipper,
All
you know,
right.
trying to elevate, as much as I can, man. Just taking it one day at a time.
Yeah, yeah. So, man, like a lot of people want to do that, right? A lot of people are going from wholesaling. They get in the ground on like on the ground level, I guess, with
Hmm.
wholesaling because really wholesaling is the foundation of doing a real estate investment deal.
Well,
Because if you can find it at the lowest price, that gives you the best chance of making a profit. And so that's a very natural transition for someone to go from wholesaling to flipping. What first made you want to get into wholesaling?
just pretty much everybody else, man. Just tired of getting up, going to a BS job and
Yeah.
dealing with people and stuff like that. And when I got into real estate, first I was trying to get my license, and then once I came across wholesaling, I was like, well, it's pretty much the same effort, same everything, except I get to, you know, handle my own stuff instead of working with them. So I just felt like it was the best option.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Like we get that question a lot, right? Do you need to have a real estate license to wholesale? You absolutely don't. Um, and furthermore, man, I find that, and I'm a real estate agent. I'm a licensed real estate agent. I find that like typically I can make more as a wholesaler.
Yeah.
In general. Like there's certain cases where there's some real estate agents that are really just killing it. They're doing phenomenal. But your average real estate agent nationwide, because there's so many of them, the average real estate agent only does like one deal their first year. And a lot of them end up quitting because of that. But in wholesaling, man, you're not splitting your commissions with anybody else. It's
Right.
all you, right? Unless you do a JV with someone. But a lot of times those wholesaling assignment fees are a lot better. So let's kind of talk about this, man. So you don't even know about wholesaling. You're trying to become a real estate agent. Um, Talk to everybody about that process because people that are watching this show, they're in that position. A lot of them are wondering like, I haven't got my first deal yet. So talk to people about that.
Well, it's kind of crazy. 'Cause I was looking at videos, actually was looking at real estate videos, having a license, and I came across, a couple different people in the business. So I was looking at a couple of the videos, and it literally, like, as soon as the class started, I kind of ran into you. So I was like, oh man, that's kind of, I don't know if that's God telling me something or what. But once you came out of nowhere with the wholesale, I was like, oh my God, this is meant to be, because I was just literally just looking at some videos about wholesaling and wondering what the heck it was.
Yeah. Won't he do it?
Yeah, you definitely would. You definitely would.
That's
So
what's up. So you
that was
started learning about it, and then like, what was that journey like when you were like, you know what, I really want to like learn this skill? Was it something that just like came natural, or how did that pan out?
actually just after I educated myself a little bit, talking with you and looking at the videos and just going out and testing it out a little bit, and I said, you know what, this is serious. This ain't a game right here. That, like, people are really out here killing it. So I just decided, you know what, let me go ahead and take it serious and try and get me a deal and see how it goes. So, and it went
Awesome.
well.
So you watch some of the videos in the course and E2E course, and
Mm-hmm.
um, during that time frame, one of the things we talk about is driving for dollars, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I know I don't want to shortchange your story. So I know that's kind of how you came across that first deal. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember this like because all this kind of transpired like from the time you found it to the time we closed in like 30 days,
Right.
right? So talk to people about that process and what that felt like, man.
Well, I mean, I don't want to kind of not give myself the credit, but like just following the steps of the course, you know, taking my time, you know, looking at the house and searching for the things you said to look for, like the high grass and, you know, the stuff on the roof and stuff like that. You know, the windows been open for like 4 days and stuff like that. You know, I just took those steps and I found one that seems pretty good, and I did the skip tracing on it and got a hit back, and I just followed the call steps, you know,
Yeah,
things
just
like
led you right down
that.
to it, right?
Yep.
So didn't you, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't you, I think you, didn't you, I know you skip traced them. So for everybody who doesn't know what skip tracing is, it's basically once you find a property, now you gotta find, you gotta get in contact with the owner. And a lot of times that takes place by trying to get them on a phone call. So, but didn't you also knock on the door on
Uh,
this one?
yes, no, that was a different one.
Oh, that was a different one. Oh, excuse me, my
The
bad,
one,
my
yeah,
bad.
different one that I couldn't skip trace, but I went to the county and see who was paying the taxes. Then I
Yep.
looked up and they showed me their address, and I don't know why I had the courage to do that, but just knocked on their door, and luckily they were friendly and got a deal out of that too. I mean,
That was the second deal. That wasn't the first deal.
that was the second deal, yeah.
Okay, all right. So let me go stick with the first deal, and we'll get to the second deal. So the first deal, so you skip trace them, you call them. What was that experience like the very first time picking up that phone and talking to a complete stranger about selling their home with no for sale sign in the front yard?
It was nerve wracking. I ain't gonna lie, but they were pretty friendly. I got lucky with that one. They were pretty friendly, and they were actually really willing to sell the house. They had some squatters in there and stuff like that. I remember having to try and get the guy out and stuff like that. So they were really happy to find somebody to want to sell, actually. So I mean, I don't know what their situation was. Well, actually, I do, but because
Yeah.
it was a pass down house, of heir. It was one of the heirs of the owner, and they were just.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. So a lot of people need to understand that our job as wholesalers, as real estate investors, is to help other people. So there's some really, really bad companies out there, you know, some really bad companies. A lot of times you'll see their billboard on the side of the road, and they're just giving people just low ball offers. And a lot of times you run into people that are just so tired of getting those low ball offers that they're like, you know what? I don't want to deal with anybody else. And it gives wholesalers a bad name. But then people like you and me and people that, a lot of our people that are in our course, they're doing what's ethical, right? They're giving them a win-win situation. They're not trying to give them the lowest offer. They're just trying to get a fair offer where they can make money for their business, right? They make money for their family, but the seller can make money, and also the buyer can make money, because we need to make sure that everybody wins. And you know, I think when we do that as wholesalers, as investors, man, it just comes back, and then that's proof, because within, I mean, well, that first deal, you might tell everybody what you made on that, how much that first deal was?
I think that first deal was what was it, 10,500? Was it?
10,500. 10,500, and it took 30 days from the
Yep.
time that you found that property.
Yep.
So when people talk about, can you really do this? I always tell people, just my disclaimer, I always tell people that you need to be prepared to work for 6 months. Like if you really do, because this is a business. But this business can literally change your life. Like, you know, Darrell's proof, he made $10,000, $10,500 in 30 days, right? But then it got even better, because within that 30 days,
Yep.
you found this, like, we didn't close on it, but you found on the second one, correct?
Yeah. I actually found it like probably about 20 days into the working on the first deal. So once I got the first deal taken care of, then I started trying to push that second one. So I say it was probably about like 20 days apart. Yeah, from first
And that's the one there where you couldn't get a hold of them on the phone, and you walked
knock,
around the house.
knock on the door. Yeah, I had to.
So,
And that one of those ones where following up was the main key on that one because I got told no like 4 times on that
wow,
deal, and I
wow,
kept following up, and then they finally budged. And
man, that's gold right there. Like, I mean, I know you just kind of like spitting that out, but so many times, like people who call and they said no, not right now, I'm not interested,
mm,
and because you followed up, only because you had persistence and followed up, were you
mm,
able to like really cement and concrete that that relationship with them so you can get into the deal.
right.
So, what was the hardest part about that one? Was it the follow up, or was it being told no? What was the hardest part?
The hardest part was the negotiation because she wanted way too much for the house,
Mm,
and I can tell she wanted to sell, but it just wasn't her number. So I just had to keep working her down, as much as I can. It took a couple weeks, but she finally budged. I think that's when she brought her daughter in. Oh, shoot.
yeah.
Can you see me still? Somebody called and messed it up. But,
No, I can't see you. Hold on, let me see if I can ask to start your video. There you go. You back now.
all
All
right,
right.
sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's when she actually brought her daughter in, and it kind of got a little bit more smoother. She was the older lady, so she wasn't really trying to deal with it. But she was asking for like a whole 40,000 more than what it was worth paying and
Yeah.
stuff. So I just had to keep talking her down and keep negotiating with her and stuff like that, and she finally budged because
And
she wanted. But
that's a common thing that
mm,
that happens. People are emotionally attached to their homes,
mm-hmm,
and because of that, they feel like when they walk around their house, they're thinking about where little Johnny had his fifth birthday party, and oh,
right,
this is where we celebrated Thanksgiving here, and those memories equate to dollars for them, right? Because they're remembering it when the house looked good.
right,
They're not
mm,
looking at it in the current state. And they're also not looking at it from an investor standpoint. So we talk about this in the course. We always talk about, not trying to sell the customer on us. We talk
right,
about educating them, right? And just saying, listen, I'd love to buy this property from you, but I'm buying it from an investor's standpoint. I'm buying it from the standpoint that I need to make money off of this to
mm-hmm,
feed my family. Like, this is what I do. I can't buy this thing at retail. And then you go through and you show them, okay, this is why I can't give you that number. I'd love to give it to you, but I can't because I won't make any money. I'll go broke. I'll lose money. And so when you take that approach of educating versus selling, you don't sound and you don't feel like you're pushing, right?
right.
And I think that's what you did with that particular case, because you were
Yeah,
able to kind of get through to the daughter, and the daughter, I believe, what didn't she kind of like understood? The daughter did some things in real estate too, as well, I believe.
yeah. I think she was familiar with real estate. That's what made it a little easier.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
once I started talking about ARVs and stuff like that with the seller, that's when she brought her daughter in because I think she was more familiar with those terms and stuff like that. So
yeah, yeah. So what, like, going through that situation, there's a big thing for people that are watching this that they can kind of pick up on. So the mother, who was the elderly lady,
mm-hmm.
she was what, in her 70s, 80s,
She's about like 70s, yeah.
70s. Um, she's the person who has to sign, right? She's the
Yeah,
owner of the house.
yeah, she's the
But
one.
but there's the influencer. So we talk about all the time identifying the parties involved, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so talk about like how you were able to say, okay, this is the person that needs the sign, but the person I need to really win over is
Is the daughter.
the daughter. Yeah. So how did you recognize that? What were some of the signs that stood out to you?
Well, first she was every time we would negotiate, she wasn't really listening. I can't really say listening, but she was just kind of like brushing it off, trying to rush. I can tell she didn't really know what I was saying.
Who, the
And then,
mother?
yeah, the mother, the
Okay.
mother. And then after a while, she said, "Oh, you know what? Let me. My daughter knows a little bit more about it. Let me get her to talk to you like and stuff like that." So after about a couple of days of trying to get in touch with the daughter, then when I finally got her, she was telling me her story and things like that. And she was telling me she's gonna come to the house and she's gonna look at the contract, stuff like that. So I said, well, if she's gonna do all the work, then all I gotta do is convince her, and she's a little bit easier than the mom because she knows about it. So let me just work on her, and it worked out.
Awesome, man. So identifying the parties involved, who's the decision maker, who's the person who has to sign, but then a lot of times the influencer or the gatekeeper, as we call them, is the most important person, because a lot of times in this particular case, the mother pretty much was going to default to whatever the daughter said for the most part. And,
Right.
it's really important to be able to recognize that so you're not going in the wrong direction. So, man, let me ask you this. So during this course, during this time frame, you're taking the course. What are some of the things that you feel that in the course prepared you to handle, these two the second transaction? How much was that one on?
I think that was $5,500.
5,500 plus 10.5, so $16,000, and that one closed in about another 30 days or so. So within like 60 days, 50 to 60 days, you're talking about 16,000.
And I left a lot of money on the table on that one deal. You remember that?
Oh yeah, you really did. You really did. That was, man, that one hurt. How much money did you leave on the table on that first one? You feel like telling everybody? Is it still too painful?
No, I don't mind. I think it was what was
another back taxes. I think it was like 21,000, 22,000, something in back taxes. But, or that's what they said, I believe.
Yeah, that was in the back taxes. So I left like another 10 grand on the table, something close to that. Probably a little bit more than that.
Yeah, man. So you really could have been at that up. It's okay. It's a learning experience, right?
That was still one of the biggest checks I ever got. So I mean, I wasn't too mad.
Within like 50 days or so, you made $16,000. Could have been 26, right? But
right.
That's definitely a learning lesson. So you didn't lose out on that. How did the course prepare you for that? Like, what do you think was some of the best things that stands out?
Just the step-by-steps, man. Like, it's literally from the first day when you learn about it all the way up to you at the closing table. So it's just a step-by-step process. Like, it doesn't get more detailed than the stuff you're giving out, man. I mean, you can go to YouTube and stuff like that, but it's not as detailed. Like, I mean, you literally break down the how to find the ARVs, how to calculate, the repair costs, and how to talk to sellers, and give little scripts and everything. Like, I mean, you just can't beat that.
Man, what did you feel about the homework? How did the homework help you? Like going to Home Depot and talking to all the homework that was done or said to do.
It helped pretty good because I think I mean, I'm not an expert or nothing like that, but like you said, going to Home Depot and stuff and just actually jotting down the stuff, and so you're not really guessing. You already seen most people are going to go to Home Depot, so you've seen the prices right there. So your guess is way more accurate than just looking like, oh, maybe that costs this, maybe that costs that. So the homework is definitely helpful.
Nice. Okay, cool, man. And what about like the coaching calls? What are some of the things that you remember being helpful as far as having the coaching calls that we do on Sunday and Wednesday? Like, how did that affect you in your confidence in taking on these two projects?
Just seeing everybody come together, man, and share ideas. And not only that, you can see that, you're not the only one that's, not too experienced and just trying to start out, or, trying to look for that first deal and anything like that. I mean, there's plenty of people out there, but just, coming together and working together and trying to figure it out, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. Awesome. Well, man, like, I love the fact that, number one, you're one of the people that you did some of the extraordinary stuff, right? Like within the first 30 days of starting the course, you actually took action and you picked up the phone, which is that phone, man. This phone right here is like 100 pounds to some people when it's time to actually call someone.
It's 100 pounds to me still, but I mean, I make it happen though. I still do it, but and trying to, cause some guys, man, they be getting on you, but that next call could be the one. So you always got to take that next call.
Yeah, man, you have to, because not only are you counting on it, but like whoever you're responsible for, your family is counting that you pick that phone up. Hey, I just got cursed out. Okay,
Right.
let me regroup. All right, let me get back on this phone, because like you said,
Exactly.
that next phone call could feed your family for the next 2-3 months.
Right. Exactly.
Right. So it's amazing, man. Amazing to see that you took the action so quickly. And I think that's really a testament to who you are, and your commitment to, you achieving your goals and your dreams for you and your family. So
Right.
man, kudos to you for sure. And man, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk about your journey and your story, brother.
Oh man, no problem, man. 'Cause I wouldn't have had this journey without you, man. So
Oh man, I appreciate that.
I, telling the story for you. So
Make me blush, brother. Stop it. Cool, man. Well, let's do this, man. Let everybody know, if you want, like your social media handles, and where can they find you. So, hey, I got a deal that, I don't know, I was watching this thing and I really connect with Darrell, and I want to send him a property. Where could they do that, or where could they joint venture with you at?
You can find me on Facebook, just at Darrell Milner, my regular name, or you can email me at DarrellJamesMilner@yahoo.com.
Okay.
They call my real estate deals and stuff like that. So
Perfect. And I will put that stuff down below.
Okay.
So in case you want to, reach out to Darrell and send him some leads or send him some deals, and you guys can structure that. There you go.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, brother.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. You did an awesome job, and I really, really love your story, and I'm quite sure a lot of people that are watching this tomorrow, next day, a year from now, are going to be able to really resonate with your story, and hopefully help some people out to push a little bit harder, push a little bit further.
Okay, no problem, brother. Thank you.
No problem, man. Take care. Peace.
Listen, men lie, women lie. I get it, but the numbers don't. It's evident that the course works. The only variable is you. For once in your life, take a chance on yourself. It's free. You have absolutely nothing to lose. It's free. Go ahead and fill out the information. Man, so many people have doubted you. So many people have said that you can't do it. This is your time to prove them wrong, and it's free. Put your information down below, fill out the short questionnaire, and we are going to tailor a strategy session that's absolutely free to make sure that you can succeed. Take a chance on yourself. Do it now.